In for the Rockers, and how about Ryan Kelly coming out and getting the save after a great start put forward by Edwin Carl? And like Kendrick said, no disrespect to everybody else who's come through, but it does feel like the undercard has happened, and it's time for the big money main event fighters. It's time for the two heavyweights. This feels like a UFC card, a boxing card, where you have the two guys on the poster and their last names, and you sell the show based on those two. It's Daryl Thompson and Michael Bowden. Who is going to blink first? The two absolute pound-for-pound best pitchers in the Atlantic League. Who's going to make a mistake? Who is going to have a night to remember? Who is going to go the distance in a 7-inning game? Will it be either of them? We saw Thompson go 9 last time he was in High Point. Can he go 7? Can Bowden, anything you can do, I can do better? Will that be the caption tonight? We don't know. We have to wait and see. And thank you to Stan Clyburn. We are getting the matchup that Atlantic League fans wanted to see. Number 1 versus number 1, Daryl Thompson versus Michael Bowden.
Yeah, absolutely. Originally, Daryl Thompson scheduled to pitch game 1 of this doubleheader, but they flip-flopped him with Dustin Knight, and that worked out for the Rockers offensively. They were able to get to Dustin Knight to the tune of 4 runs in the 3rd inning. You mentioned Matt Jones, the 3 RBIs, but put together some extra base hits as well. If you look back at the 3rd inning of that game, Richie Schaefer, an RBI base hit. Jones, 2 RBIs. Giovanni Alfonso, an RBI single. It just felt like they got production top to bottom in the lineup in that first game.
Also, you got to win at a Carl, and that's huge because Carl's a great pitcher, and it just felt like, I don't know, anybody going against Daryl Thompson has their work cut out for him because it's tough to score on him. So if the Rockers, let's say the Rockers can come through and score, let's say they can score 2 or 3 runs on Daryl Thompson early, that'd be unbelievable because he doesn't give up runs, especially early. As we have the sun setting here at BB&T Point, the conditions are perfect, and I'll be very interested to see how this one goes. This is the end of a homestand here for the Rockers, a quick 4-game series against the Blue Crabs. The Rockers would love to split. We're really looking forward to having you here for this one, and what a pitching matchup. What a game we're going to be able to see today.
Absolutely. Both teams have changed uniforms. Let's go ahead and give you starting lineups here as we're getting ready to get going. So for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, Kent Blackstone, second base, will lead off. Edwin Garcia at shortstop will bat second. John Griffin did not sit in game 1, or did not play in game 1, I should say, but he is back in the lineup playing first base, hitting third. Tony Thomas at third base will bat cleanup. Cody Vaughn, the designated hitter, will bat fifth. Charlie Valerio, the catcher, will bat in the number 6 spot. Joe Benson in left field will bat 7th. Ruby Silva in right field will bat 8th. Travis Witherspoon will bat 9th and play right field tonight. So that's the way the Blue Crabs will send them to the plate. As again, you mentioned Daryl Thompson, Michael Bowden, the starting pitchers for today. Bowden, of course, a guy who puts up fantastic numbers so far this year.
And I have a quick update on him. He wears number 10 usually.
Okay.
He'll be wearing number 23 here today in these New Jerseys.
That's an okay update to have. I thought you were about to say he was scratched or something for a second.
No.
All right.
He is going today.
That's good. Bowden has a losing record on the year, actually, 2-3. But
don't let that fool you.
No, 2.48 earned run average, 40 innings pitched. He struck out 50 hitters, and he's only walked 7. I think that's the key factor for me is the fact that Michael Bowden gets a lot of strikeouts, and he has fantastic control, does not walk a whole lot of hitters. So I think that for Michael Bowden, control is the key for him today. As for the Rockers and Daryl Thompson, it's tough to kind of figure out what their strategy should be for tonight. If you say be patient, the problem is Daryl Thompson will throw the first 2 pitches over for a strike, and then he'll get you to chase for strike 3. If you say take a lot of pitches, boom, 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 he'll go ahead and wear you down that way. So it's tough when you're facing the best pitcher in the league to say this is what the High Point Rockers should do today. But I mean, Daryl Thompson is not invincible. His ERA ranks 6th in the league, so there are some people that can get to him. The Rockers have not been able to do so just yet this year, but as this is the last time these two teams will face in 2019, at least in the regular season, the time is now. If the Rockers are going to get to Daryl Thompson, it has to be tonight.
No, tonight's got to be the night. You got Michael Bowden on the mound. It's 1 versus 1. It's the ace versus the ace. And if you're going to try to steal one, you got to do it here tonight with your guy on the mound. And you're trying to snap a losing streak, and the Rockers just did that, picking up that last win. But you're also, not only are you trying to snap, try to shake off this losing skid, you're trying to make sure that you make a statement. You're trying to make sure that you kind of put the Atlantic League back on notice. And like Jamie Keefe said, the Rockers know that they have a bullseye on their back. They know that they are the hunted. They know that they are being targeted each and every night. Because if you want to try to get into the playoffs, if you're the Blue Crabs or if you're the Bees or if you're the Patriots or if you're the York Revolution, yeah, there's ways to win it if you win the second half. But the easiest way to do it is to slow down the High Point Rockers. And that's what people are trying to do. These Rockers splitting would be a big momentum booster and it would really shake up the standings and help them out if they can move through.
Looking around the Atlantic League, obviously we're going to keep an eye on the rest of the games throughout the course of the evening, but the only one where we have a score right now, the Barnstormers have a 2-0 lead on the Ducks early on. A 2-run single in the first inning has given the Barnstormers the lead, but they took a lead in the game the last 2 nights, but weren't able to hold on to either one as the Ducks took both. So, for the Barnstormers, the name of the game is finishing, but if you're the Rockers right now, you can't rely on the Barnstormers to finish it off because they haven't done so yet. Michael Bowden heads out to the mound. The High Point Rockers in their military appreciation camo uniforms with the white pants. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs with the gray pants, and love these tops. They're red with white pinstripes, white numbering on the back, and white lettering across the front. Really slick-looking uniforms. As Michael Bowden begins taking his warm-up tosses. I mentioned 2 and 3 on the year, but the 2.48 ERA. This is start number 9 for him. He'll probably make 1 or 2 more on the course of the year. Remember, he missed a little bit of time. They skipped him a time or 2 throughout the rotation, so it's good to see him back on the mound tonight.
That's right. We're happy to see Michael Bowden out there, and if he is going to help the Rockers get a big win, tonight would be a good night to do it. We're really looking forward to seeing him go tonight. Thompson versus Bowden, you said it, brother. These Blue Crabs in those pinstripe red jerseys, my favorite ones in the Atlantic League, that aren't Rocker jerseys, of course. I think it's hard to beat our white home jerseys. I love the gray whites. I love the off-whites. I love those. The blue ones are sharp as well. We just saw those. Rockers wearing their camo alternate jerseys here tonight.
So again, the Blue Crabs with Blackstone, Garcia, Griffin, Thomas, Vaughn, Valerio, Benson, Silva, and Witherspoon, their lineup tonight. And Blackstone steps up as Mother Nature is gifting us with a beautiful canvas here. Blues, rich pinks and purples and orange. It's a beautiful sky here at High Point, a beautiful sight to see the Rockers back in the win column, and a beautiful sight, 7 innings still to go. Bowden kicks and deals, first pitch inside ball 1. We're underway.
A 1-0 count here for Kent Blackstone, and let's see what Bowden can do here tonight in the first inning.
He deals here. Blackstone fouls this one up out of play. Count 1-1. Blackstone in the first game, a couple of hits, a double, a single, a steal, and a run.
We run the concourse for the in-between innings, and people are pouring in after work here.
This one lined into right field. It's going to be a tough play for Michael Russell. Picks it up and throws. It's going to get away, but a good job backing up by the catcher, Matt Jones. It'll be an infield base hit for Kent Blackstone as he chopped that one. Just kind of tough spot for anybody to make a play. So he's on to lead off the game.
Nice backup there by Matt Jones. Like we always say, if those guys aren't there, that goes probably into the dugout, and that could be serious, serious trouble.
Here's Edwin Garcia. Garcia, the shortstop. Rocker's going to look for the double play here in the first. Bowden delivers. First pitch is a called strike. Yeah, 5 o'clock game's tough for a lot of the working crowd to get in here in time, but looks pretty good now as Bowden steps off and looks Blackstone back to first.
And it's dollar beer night tonight,
Sure.
So they were the group I was talking to was definitely enjoying that.
This pitch misses away 1-1 to Edwin Garcia. Kevin, you've highlighted Garcia as one of your favorite players to watch on this squad.
Oh, he's awesome.
Here's the 1-1 that's swung on and poked out of play. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes now to the number 2 hitter in the Blue Crabs lineup.
I think I just really like shortstops. I think that's maybe what it comes down to. But he is a great shortstop to like. If you're a young kid watching these games and coming to BB&T Point or going to see the Blue Crabs, Edwin Garcia is a great guy to emulate. He is a great player the way he moves, and he's great. Of course, I think the Rockers have the best shortstop in the league in Giovanni Alfonso, but Garcia is right behind him.
Blackstone dancing off of first, and Bowden hold the set. Now he'll step off and look Blackstone back to the bag. I think you're right about shortstops. I mean, 'cause I remember you were high on Jason Martinson when they were in town. And
Who's he play for again?
Martinson is a Somerset Patriot, I believe.
That's right.
This one's popped up and out of play again, and the count stays at 1-2.
I see a lot of baseball. So, who's the shortstop for Sugarland? I can picture him, but I can't think of his name.
Hang on, give me a second. I'll go back.
I know that I like him a lot too.
I'll go back through my book.
It's not Melky Mesa.
Here's the pitch swung on, and that's a hard rip into right field. A base hit, so back-to-back singles to start this game.
Good start here for the Blue Crabs, doing exactly what you need to do when you're facing a guy like Michael Bowden. Get to him in the first inning, and that can change the whole complexion of this game.
Well, don't forget the Ducks, too, though. Vladimir Frias, a good shortstop. Here we go. Sugarland. That's Jason Martinson. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah, so that was the guy I liked, yeah.
Now I don't remember the shortstop for the York Revolution.
Or the Patriots.
That's what I meant, the Patriots. First and second here, nobody out, as the hitter is John Griffin. And Bowden misses up about head high for ball 1. Blackstone off of second. Garcia off of first. Bowden steps off, and he asks Matt Jones to come out. I think they might be a little bit not quite on the same page.
The York shortstop ended up being the great Angelos Nina.
Gotcha. So we're playing Guess the Shortstops here, and we're stuck on Somerset.
I looked it up, but none of the names jumped out to me as the shortstop. I couldn't place them. This is riveting radio, I'm sure. Ray Navarro? Does that sound right?
It was Edwin Espinal, I believe.
Espinal, okay.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count now 1-1.
I'm more of a Giovanni Alfonso guy.
Sure,
anyway.
sure.
Like we said, if there was a gold, there was a Gold Glove to be given out.
I think it's no question.
You think it's that? It's like, I mean, we saw him make one of the craziest plays ever just now in that last game. Felt like last inning, the last game. The way he moved around the second base and checked the man back at the same time and made the throw on the move. It was really well done.
Bowden ahead in the count here, 1-2 to John Griffin as the Rockers are looking to get their first out of this ball game. And here's the pitch. That's down low and away. And Griffin did not go around. So the count now 2-2.
I can't believe we're having a double 90s night. How did we luck out to have 14 innings of 90s music? The only kind of music, in my opinion.
And here is the 2-2 swung on and fouled up out of play. So they're making Bowden work already at 13 pitches here in just the first inning. Middle infield looking for the double play. The Rockers, at least for the moment, have regained second place in the Liberty division. Trying to sweep the doubleheader and split the series as another chopper foul off the bat of John Griffin, who's really battling hard here against Michael Bowden. You know, we talked about maybe Bowden could go the distance. Already, next pitch will be number 15 in the inning and still nobody out.
Well, like I said in the, in this inning, you're doing exactly what you need to do if you're the Blue Crabs. You're wearing down Bowden really quickly.
Bowden comes set. Here's the 2-2. Check swing. They're going to see if he went. He did not go far enough. And so the count now full.
To use another, and I promise our final boxing analogy here, but when you have two heavyweights going, what the Blue Crabs are kind of doing is they're goading Michael Bowden to throwing those big knockout punches, and they're moving out of the way. So they're getting him to throw his big stuff, but it's just missing just a little bit. It's really close, though.
3-2 coming from Bowden. One bad one to load the bases here. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, lined into left field. Caught there by Lattimore. The throw to second to try to double up Blackstone. Not in time. And that is the first out of the inning. Let's go ahead and meet the defense for the High Point Rockers.
Let's do it out there in left field for the Rockers. It's the man who's usually out there, the King Quincy Lattimore. In center field, it's Jared Mitchell. In right field, it's Steven Cardullo. I'll wait for the pitch here, and I'll give you the infield.
Tony Thomas comes up now, third base. Saw him make a lot of nice plays on some line drives yesterday. And Bowden deals first pitch to Thomas, down ball one. Obviously, you want to try to keep it down. You're looking for a ground ball in the infield. Thomas hits it hard, but a ground ball will give you a shot at 2. Wind has picked up a lot more than it did in the first game. Here's the pitch in there for a strike. Count 1-1.
Let me give you the rest here quickly. Hector Gomez at third. Giovanni Alfonso at shortstop. Michael Russell at second base. Richie Schaefer at first behind the plate. Matt Jones, of course, on the mound. The man we've been talking about, Michael Bowden. And he stepped off the mound as to say, I can't see what you're signaling to me, Matt. He stepped off. Kendrick, I saw you were looking at your notes there. He stepped off and went like this. So he pointed to his face.
They've definitely seemed to not quite be on the same page here in the first inning. Here's the 1-1 to Thomas. Swung on, and that's hit high and deep into left field. The bat splintered, and it's gone. A 3-run home run. I've never seen a home run where the bat shatters, too, and it went into the Southern Maryland dugout.
Okay, you can see a bat shot. There's maybe a broken bat home run here and there you can talk about. Not one that's a no-doubter and the bat breaks. Tony Thomas, you are unreal. What a powerful hit. Dean Green is on the IL this week, so Rockers fans were not able to see Dean Green, but Tony Thomas treating Blue Crabs fans and Atlantic League fans everywhere and baseball fans. I don't care what team you cheer for. That was awesome. The bat split like that and a 3-run home run. Wow. And it's so important. I made the point. What if the Rockers could get up early on Darryl Thompson? Well, the Blue Crabs get up early on probably, like we said, one of the best pitchers on the Rockers, Michael Bowden. You can make an argument that he is the best pitcher on this team.
Here's the 0-1, and that's up and in.
That's a strike. It hit off the bat.
That's what Matt Jones is asking if it did.
I watched that one fall right back down.
And I believe they are going to call it a foul ball. I believe it is 0-2.
Giovanni at shortstop was calling for it, too.
That one down and away. Now a ball, 2 strikes.
A broken bat home run. That is. I know you have a lot of baseball knowledge. Have you ever seen? Can you recall any of those?
Well, it's funny, and let me go ahead and preface this. There is no accusation behind this at all, as that pitch is down low. Sammy Sosa broke his bat on a home run. Of course, it ended up being a corked bat, and Sosa ended up getting suspended. But other than those situations, no.
That was just pure strength by Tony Thomas. The dugout for the Blue Crabs was going bananas when that one left the ballpark, and they saw the bats splinter in half, shatter in half. They were going nuts.
Here's the pitch from Bowden. That's down low. So we started off 0-2, and he lost Corey Vaughn. By my count, that's 26 pitches already here in the first inning with just 1 out. That'll bring up the catcher, Charlie Valerio. Your game time temperature, 79 degrees. It'll drop about to the mid-70s by the time we are finished here under partly to mostly cloudy skies. No chance of rain. Bowden throws this one over to first base, throws it away. Vaughn's going to head over to second. Now he's chugging on to third as no rocker is anywhere close to that ball. It's a 2-base error as the throw comes into home. So a pickoff throw by Michael Bowden goes awry and a potential costly error as all of a sudden Vaughn goes from first to third. Well, things not off to a good start for the Rockers at all here.
Well, you couple this with, this is happening. It's something that's happening, and not much, that you can do about it. And then you couple it with the fact that Darrell Thompson has yet to throw a pitch. So, before Thompson even steps out on the mound, he's going to have at least a 3-0 run or 3-0 lead. You got maybe your 4th run 90 feet away over there at third base.
And the first pitch to Valerio misses away, ball 1. Bowden laboring through the first inning. Here's the 1-0. That's ripped hard. Nice catch there on a line drive by Michael Russell, taking away a base hit and keeping Vaughn over there at third base.
And that might be the play that keeps Michael Bowden in this game, because if that gets through, it's definitely scoring 1 and making this a 4-0 game. And it's weird. How can 1 run mean, change it? But 3-0 is still very manageable. When you get to 4 and 5, tell me if I'm wrong here, Kendrick, but that feels a little bit more dangerous.
I think so, as Benson skies this one into shallow left center field. 3 Rockers going for it. It's going to be Mitchell settling under it to make the catch. Bowden is out of the inning, but not before a 3-run blast by Tony Thomas and 29 pitches thrown. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Blue Crabs lead 3-0. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And this show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out.
Well, this is the guy we've all been looking forward to watching work tonight. It's Daryl Thompson getting the start for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. And just listen to these numbers. 14-7 on the year, 3.14 ERA, 141 strikeouts, only 19 walks. Here is the kryptonite for Thompson. He's given up 18 home runs this year. So if the Rockers are going to get him, it's going to be with the long ball. Luckily for the Rockers, they know a thing or two about hitting the long ball as Steven Cardullo takes ball 1.
I've been counting silently, and I think off the top of my head, and I think there's a confirmed 6 Rockers with double-digit home runs. I think there might be 7 though. I'm not sure.
Here's the pitch, swing and a miss by Cardullo.
And I can get into the stats here in a second. Look, but. I know that Cardullo has double digits. I know that Hector Gomez does. I know Vito Sergi Rosa does. I know Richie Schaefer does. I know Quincy Lattimore does. So that's 5. I think Miles Schroeder might as well.
Schroeder does not.
Okay,
this is popped up and out of play.
Well, then that's 5, and I think it might stay at 5. Is there one more?
Are you including Ladendorf?
Okay, we'll give Tyler Ladendorf as well, who had double digits. So that's 6. And I think that's everybody,
I
right?
believe so. And here's the 1-2. Cardullo pops this one up and out of play. Count stays 1-2.
If Matt Jones keeps swinging the bat the way he's swinging, he might get 10 by the end of the year.
Yeah, Schroeder has 8. By my count, Mitchell has 9, although not all with the Rockers. Here's the 1-2 to Cardullo. Swung on and hits this one a mile high in the infield. Calling for it is the shortstop Garcia. And he's under it for out number 1. Let's go ahead and set the rest of the Rockers lineup for you here. It's Cardullo, Jared Mitchell, the center fielder, bats second. Hector Gomez at third will bat third. Quincy Lattimore in left field will be the cleanup hitter. Richie Schaefer at first base hits fifth. Vito Sergi Rosa, the DH again. Tonight hits sixth. Michael Russell at second will bat seventh. Matt Jones will hit eighth. And Giovanni Alfonso, the shortstop, will bat ninth. Thompson deals to Mitchell a fastball, just missing for a ball. And the count 1-0. In the bottom of the first inning, remember, 7-inning affair tonight. And here's the pitch inside to Jared Mitchell. And the count 2-0. Rockers took game 1 of this doubleheader. Already have some work to do here in game 2. Thompson kicks, deals, swing and a miss. On 2-0, it's now 2-1. Lights are on here as the sun has set at BB&T Point. Should be a nice evening for baseball. Good temperatures, dry. Mitchell swings, hits this one high in the air into left field. Back, drifting back, settling up in front of the warning track, though, to make the catch is Benson for out number 2. I'll tell you what, when Jared Mitchell hits the ball, it's a loud, impressive-looking fly ball. He towers him. That'll bring up Hector Gomez, the third baseman. One of those guys you mentioned with double-digit home runs on the year, 10 of them to be exact. 291 average. And here is the pitch from Thompson. And that's in there for a strike. Working quickly, here's the 0-1. Gomez swings, skies this one deep down the line in right field. It's curling foul and will continue to get out of play. Count 0-2. Rockers return home 1 week from today for their final 6-game homestand of 2019. 2 games against the Barnstormers, 4 games against the Patriots. Here's the 0-2. Swung on, that's hit deep in the air to the left center field. Going back is Benson. Back, looking up, and rockabye baseball. Hector Gomez has number 11. The Rockers on the board here in the first.
He heard us talking about home runs. He said, you want to talk about home runs? How about Hector Gomez, who had a hot August and he might be having an even hotter September. He might just be eating up a big smile, and I think he needs to walk up to drop it like it's hot more often. 3-1, Rockers trail by 2, but they're knocking on the door, and how about that? Both of these heavy-hitting pitchers who we thought were going to be untouchable, we thought were definitely going 7. It's a 2-run game now after both of these aces get taken deep.
Definitely a surprising start for both Bowden, and now Lattimore swings and drives this one into center field, but it's caught, and Darryl Thompson will surrender the home run to Hector Gomez, but that's all in the bottom of the first inning. We go to the top of the second. It's Blue Crabs 3, Rockers 1. Pitch count difference, Bowden 29, Thompson 15. This is High Point Rockers baseball.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Fans, I'm hanging out over here at the drinking rails with my friend Mark, who's going to try to...
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Top of the second, Michael Bowden kicks and deals. First pitch to Ruby Silva. I was looking back at Schaefer's previous game to work on something for later. But here's the 0-1 to Silva. Swings and drives this one deep into right center field. Racing back is Jared Mitchell. He's covering a lot of ground. Makes a nice running catch. Jared Mitchell flashing the speed and covering lots of ground as he retires Silva deep at the right center field wall.
I see Coach Billy Horn out there on the top of the stairs in the dugout giving a big round of applause after that catch was made, as Jared Mitchell covers a lot of ground for out number 1. He is a very, very talented center fielder.
And he makes running that far, that fast look easy, too. Here's Travis Witherspoon. I've not seen him yet in this series, hitting just 111. And he takes ball 1. Bowden kicks and deals. Here's the 1-0. And that's it just missed. Ball 2. We're at the top of the second. Both teams score in the first inning. As Witherspoon fouls this one off. Unfortunately for the Rockers, the Blue Crabs scored 3 to High Point's 1. Looking at some other scores around the league right now. This will keep an eye on the Bees, especially throughout this game. Here's the 2-1 from Bowden. That's hit into shallow left field. Racing in as Lattimore makes a nice running catch. So both Mitchell and Lattimore making some nice catches, covering a lot of ground here in the second inning.
Yeah, we're seeing some hard-hit balls here off of Michael Bowden, and that outfield for the High Point Rockers is having to work hard, but they're getting big outs for them.
Patriots 2-1 lead over the Bees in their contest. The Ducks have a 3-2 advantage over the Barnstormers. Revolution and Skeeters just started, no scores. The first pitch to the leadoff man, Kent Blackstone, misses up and away, ball one. As Southern Maryland has worked their way all the way around to the top of the lineup here in just the second inning. Here's the 1-0 from Bowden. That's chopped on the ground, foul down the first base side. Blackstone, left-handed hitter. As Bowden will come set, ready to deliver. Here's the 1-1. And he deals. This one's just hit foul, just barely down towards the Southern Maryland dugout. Blackstone didn't get a whole lot of it. And the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Edwin Garcia, the number 2 hitter, waits in the on-deck circle. Bowden would just as rather see him in the next inning. Here's the 1-2. Up and in with the fastball. Had to spin out of the way, did Blackstone there, to avoid getting hit with that one. Bowden began his motion. Time was called, though, and so he will stop and we will reset. Here we go. He comes set. Here's the 2-2 to Blackstone, and this is popped foul as Gomez will turn and look at it, but it's well out of play. No chance, as that was pitch number 40 on Michael Bowden's night already here in the second inning.
Not the pitch count we would have guessed here for Michael Bowden in the second. And you know what? All things considered, the bullpen didn't really get used in that first game.
2-2 fouled off again.
If I had to guess, I would say Clark won't come back out. I don't think he'll be available again. I think Ryan Kelly, just by the nature of being a closer and the fact that he's had a good amount of days off and the fact that he looks so good, if that opportunity arises where the Rockers need a closer, if they're 1 run or somewhere close, I think you could see him again.
First thing the Rockers are going to need to do, though, is score some more runs and get the lead. Here's the 2-2. Swung on, that's lined into center field. Going over is Mitchell and makes the catch on the run for the final out of the inning. So Michael Bowden settles in after a rough first inning and records a 1-2-3 second. And with that, we will head to the bottom of the second. Still 3-1 Blue Crabs. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Daryl Thompson kicks and deals. First pitch to Richie Schaefer in there for a strike. We're underway in the bottom of the second inning. Rockers trail 3-1. It'll be Schaefer, Rosa, and Russell here against Daryl Thompson. Thompson tries to drop the curveball in there and paint the corner, but doesn't get the call. Count is now 1-1.
I'll wait here for a second.
Here's the 1-1 up and in. Just about got Schaefer in the head there as he had to take some evasive action to get out of the way.
For 90s night on Instagram, the Rockers put up pictures of the Rockers when they were in Little League. Did you see these?
I did. Here's the 2-1. And that just misses for a ball 3-1.
Were you able to guess everyone correctly?
How many did they do? I saw 3.
Okay, did you see these?
I did not get Edwin Carl correct.
That's Billy Horn.
I did not see that one. That pitch is down low, ball 4, and Schaefer works a walk.
You got to go on High Point Rockers Instagram to see these. There's Via Sergi.
I got Via Sergi and Giovanni Alfonso instantly.
Those were easy. That's Gonzalez, Albert Gonzalez. Bullpen catcher. That's Quincy, of course.
Oh, they told me that was Cardullo. I did not get that.
It is, yeah. I got that one. This one I need your help with. Is this Bowden?
Yeah, that's Bowden.
Okay. So those are great pictures. I know that's bad radio, bad TV to talk about things you can't see, but we're driving you to the Instagram. Go to the IG.
Rosa swings and skies this one into shallow right field. Out is Blackstone, in is Silva, and it's Silva making the catch for out number 1. So after the leadoff walk to Schaefer, it's 1 pitch, 1 out to retire via Sergi Rosa. Brings up Michael Russell now. Russell hitting at 294. Gomez is 293 up ahead of him in the lineup. So 2 guys pushing to see if they could get to that 300 mark here at the end of the season. Obviously, Michael Russell will not be eligible for the batting title, but he'd love to say he hit 300 while he was here. Here's the pitch to Russell. He swings and hits this one high in the air to shallow center. Blackstone, the second baseman, drifting back, and he settles under it, makes the catch. So 2 quick pitches and 2 quick outs.
Do you mind if I set the defense for him?
Sure, I completely forgot about that.
No problem. Out there on the field, it's Benson. It is Witherspoon out there in center field. Silva in right field. Tony Thomas at third base. Over there at shortstop, it's Garcia. Ken Blackstone over there at second base. And then at first, it is Griffin.
So here's Matt Jones, the MVP, if you will, of Game 1. And first pitch curveball up and in. Jones has to duck out of the way. And the count 1-0 as Thompson comes set. Runs are tough to come by off of Darryl Thompson, so the Rockers going to have to put a couple together as that one just missing. Good look there by Matt Jones, 2-0. But also, if you're Michael Bowden, you can't really give up a whole lot more either, just based off of Darryl Thompson. Remember, home runs will hurt Thompson. He's given up 19 on the year. Jones swings and hits this one a mile high into shallow left center field. Edwin Garcia, the shortstop, goes out and puts it away for the final out of the inning. So after a leadoff walk, Thompson retires the next 3 Rockers hitters. And we go to the third. It's 3-1 Blue Crabs. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
All right, Michael Bowden deals first pitch. Edwin Garcia taking all the way. It's a called strike. We're underway, top of the third inning. 3-1 the score in favor of the visiting Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. They have a 2-1 advantage in the series, but the Rockers took game one of the twin bill today as Garcia pops this one up and out of play directly behind home plate. Count 0-2. Bowden looking for a quick inning here as his next pitch will be number 45. Swung on, and that's fouled off. Just got a piece of it, did Garcia. All the runs coming in the first inning. A 3-run blast off the bat of Tony Thomas. Or maybe off the splinters of Tony Thomas might be a better way to put that. And
that's right. Up the handle.
Yeah.
That was all that was left.
Here's the 0-2 swing and a missed strike three. Bowden picks up just his first strikeout of the game here in the third inning. And that will bring up John Griffin. Seems a little odd that Bowden's only got one strikeout here already.
It seems odd that he's only got one strikeout. It also seems a little odd that he's playing from behind. And that's just a compliment to him in the year that he's had. He really hasn't had to do that much. And so this is kind of a new feeling for him.
First pitch is a called strike to John Griffin.
Which I'm sure in his long career, a career in which he's made it to the pros, MLB, I'm sure he's had to pitch from behind before.
0-1. This one's chopped weakly foul. It hit off of Griffin in the box. Gomez was charging in to make a play, but that ball ended up kicking foul also anyways.
I'm just saying from a perspective of him playing here at BB&T Point, he's been pretty dominant. Sure. You know, we haven't seen him labor too long. We haven't seen him have to exert unnecessary energy, you know, and he's having to work tonight. Not to say it's unnecessary, but it's more than he would probably prefer to, especially at this point of the evening.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Griffin with Tony Thomas standing on deck. Bowden deals, and here's the 1-2. And that's strike 3 looking. Down goes Griffin. So back-to-back Ks here for Michael Bowden. And here is Thomas, who has hit his 14th home run, and he's driven in runs 58, 59, and 60 with that 3-run shot in the first inning. So here comes round 2 between these two. I guess you can't really get away from those boxing metaphors here.
You really can't. I don't know. I'd pitch to him.
Well, he starts head high, ball 1. That's pitch number 50 for Bowden.
I don't think I would. I really don't. Maybe let's see. But you can also use this as a momentum booster.
Swing and a miss there as he attacks the zone with a fastball. The thing to be careful with, though, is the fact that you have Vaughn on deck, who's, you know, just as dangerous a hitter. 21 home runs, maybe potentially more dangerous than Tony Thomas.
That's true, and you can use this as opportunity to gain back some momentum and gain back a little bit of energy and good feelings as they have to switch gloves there. Billy Horn comes out. I think that one is completely blown out.
Looks like maybe a Michael Bowden fastball might have messed up the webbing of Matt Jones. All right, here's the 1-1 to Thomas. He swings and rips this one into right field. That's a base hit. Another hard hit ball for Thomas. And if you're Michael Bowden, I think you're just happy he stayed in the yard here.
I was just going to say, the fact that you kept him in is a win.
That'll bring up Corey Vaughn. Vaughn, 21 home runs on the season. Now runner on first and 2 outs. Bowden comes set, ready to deliver first pitch here to Vaughn. And that's inside ball 1. Yeah, decent crowd here tonight at BB&T Point on a Wednesday night. Rockers concluding this homestand. They'll be on the road over the weekend, but you'll have a chance to see them one last time here in the regular season as this one's fouled off and out of play. You'll get to see them a week from today. 2 games set with the Barnstormers, including Dollar Beer Night on Thursday, and then a weekend wraparound series Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday against the Somerset Patriots. From there, the Rockers go on the road, 3 with the Bees, 3 with the Ducks, and that's the end of the regular season, folks. It is almost here as Vaughn fouls this one off.
Hard to believe.
Absolutely. What a long year it's been. What a good year it's been for the Rockers, their first year here, and there's a good chance it's not over at the end of the Long Island series that concludes the regular season. Rockers very much alive and kicking in the wild card race. They have a couple games lead over the New Britain Bees. Obviously, Somerset Patriots and potentially the York Revolution could get in via the wild card as well. Here's the 1-2. Runner goes. It's spiked in the turf. Good throw. Actually, no, the throw goes high by Matt Jones. Good timing on the pop-up by Matt Jones, but the throw sailed wide, and Tony Thomas steals second and then takes third on the throwing error.
And once again, this is easy for me to say because I'm not having to change elevation like Jones is and starting from down low and popping up. But Thomas was pretty well there by the time he even started the throw. So, he maybe should have just held on to it. But Tony Thomas applies so much pressure to you. And this High Point Rocker defense is trying to get Bowden out of the inning to protect his pitch count. So a good gamble by Matt Jones.
Here is the 2-2. Swing and a missed strike 3. So they're going to leave Tony Thomas there at third base as Michael Bowden strikes out the side here in the top of the third. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's 3-1 Blue Crabs. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Beer sales will conclude at the top of the fourth inning.
Bottom of the third inning here at BB&T Point. Rockers have Alfonso, Cardulo, and Mitchell, the 3 scheduled hitters, as they try to cut a little bit further into this deficit, now sitting at just 2 runs, 3-1. Against arguably the best pitcher in the league, Daryl Thompson, who throws first pitch ball 1 to Alfonso, showed bunt and pulled back.
And that'll have the third baseman, Tony Thomas, cheating in, and now he tried to make him pay with a big swing.
Big swing, but he came up empty to Giovanni Alfonso, so the count 1-1.
Well, if that one gets down, you never know. If he gets that one, that could be big trouble.
Alfonso's a guy, he'll bunt with 2 strikes, too, as this pitch in there called strike. So just because he's got 2 strikes now, not a guarantee that he's not going to lay one down.
Out of all the Atlantic League rules, that's the one we see the Rockers use the most.
The one that definitely pays off for Alfonso, but he swings and misses strike 3 there. And that's the first out here in the third. I'll bring up Steven Cardulo, popped out to shortstop his first time up. What a difference in pitch counts right now. Michael Bowden, 56 pitches through 3 innings, and right now Darryl Thompson's next one will be number 30. Through 2 1/3, here is number 30 to Cardulo, and rips this one foul straight back to the screen. That was a ball that, had he hit it fair, probably would have taken somebody's head off. That's how hard he hit it. All the runs coming in the first inning here so far as we're approaching the middle stages of this game. Remember, 7-inning games here are the length of these doubleheaders as the curveball stays down low, and the count now is 1-1 to Cardulo. 19 home runs on the year for Cardulo, looking for that nice even number 20, but another curveball from Thompson stays down. All you got to do if you're the Rockers, I say all, but get a guy on base and hit a home run. There you go. You're right back there.
Well, and, just get base runners on. You get base runners on, and usually the Rockers let the rest figures itself out for them.
That pitch just missing. A good look there for Steven Cardulo. And as Hector Gomez has showed you, he's the only player to get a hit so far tonight, but it was a home run. And so to say it, I guess, the best way possible, Darryl Thompson can be got. As that pitch down low, ball 4. Yes, I understand that's incorrect, Grammar. I did that on purpose. So the 1-out walk there to Cardulo, and Kevin, there's your man on base. You get a guy on base right there?
Yeah, and you got a guy who I think has the highest IQ on the team when it comes to baseball, the highest baseball IQ in Steven Cardulo. I think this guy's decision making is, second to none.
Here's Jared Mitchell, just missed a home run by a foot or so in the first game. Thompson steps off and has a little stare down with Cardulo, then fakes a throw over to first, which sends Cardulo scampering back.
Here's the thing about Cardulo, too. He's a gambler. I don't think we'll see him gamble too much, but he's not afraid to go to first, second. He's cheating like he's going to go sooner than later.
Here's the pitch to Mitchell. Mitchell, a big swing, fouls it off. And the count is 0-1. Only thing I would say about the Cardulo, whether or not he would go, certainly I think he is aggressive enough to go, but again, the base runners are at a premium right now against a top-line pitcher like Thompson.
But he's fast. You get over there. Ground ball is the difference between a double play.
Sure, that sparks something.
And moving a guy to third.
Absolutely.
We talk about if he chose to go to second, there's a reason to. He's leaning to second.
Off-speed pitch there to Mitchell, a called strike. He's in the hole 0-2. I think we've made very good cases for both sides.
Let me put it this way. If he's not going, he's got the best poker face in baseball. Because he is leaning, he keeps moving. If he's not going, this is the greatest bluff of all time.
He's got quite a lead. He's already
and he's leaning. If he's not going, he's really messing with Thompson.
Fastball inside. Falsetti faked as if he were going to throw. Valerio faked as if he were going to throw down to first. Did not.
Well, he caught it and immediately turned down to Cardulo. So guess who he's also faking out? The catcher back there. Guess who has a good look at him? Valerio.
Who? Oh, you're saying Valerio has I thought you were saying guess who.
Yeah.
I got you. Curveball, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Mitchell for out number 2. Strikeout number 2 for Darryl Thompson. You were totally spot on. I just completely missed where you were going
problem.
there.
Here's the other thing. Now, at this point, you don't want the third out to happen as a stolen base at second. So, you probably won't see him dancing around as much, and if he is, I don't think people will pay nearly as much attention to him, but there is still an opportunity for Valerio to throw down to second if he sees him going.
Curveball that looks good from Thompson. He gets Gomez to chase. The Rockers have nothing for that pitch here in the early stages. You talk about the lead that Cardulo gets. His back foot is at the end of the indention around first base. That's how big of a lead he's got. And he's leaning towards second. Here is the 0-1. It's another curveball that drops in there for a strike. That pitch is absolutely handcuffing the Rockers almost single-handedly tonight so far. Thompson comes set. Here is the 0-2. First a check over. Cardulo was leaning. He's out. Thompson, a nice pickoff throw there. Cardulo leaning towards second, and they get him on the pickoff. And that will be
I think the Rockers want to argue, not to cut you off there, sorry, buddy. I think the Rockers want to argue that he didn't bring his foot off the rubber, which is the Atlantic League rule. And Jamie Keefe really would like an explanation here.
Well, it was odd. I don't know if you noticed it. Thompson ended up on his stomach.
He ended up on his stomach and then kicked up his feet when he got the out and then hurried off the diamond.
Cardulo's staying out there, so we're going to hold it here just for a moment.
We're not on TV. We'll hold here.
This is worth keeping an eye on here. I think the umpires will at least discuss this.
Yeah, Keefe is... And you even see Michael Bowden hasn't started his warm-up pitches yet.
At least in the previous times where we've seen this, the umpires did get together to discuss what they saw.
It doesn't seem like they're even gonna get together because I don't think he's even replying to Jamie Keefe there.
Oh, somebody just got thrown out.
I think he just threw Cardulo out of the game.
Was it Cardulo or was it Jamie?
I think it was Cardulo. That's why Jamie's so mad.
It was very unexpected, whatever it was.
Yeah, it was, because Cardulo's still going after him.
Yeah, so Steven Cardulo has been tossed from the game.
I think.
Somebody did.
I think that's why they're so mad. Well, he would be grabbing a glove and be going out to the field, not coming back to the dugout. That's why Giovanni reacted, and he did it with Cardulo.
Well, and now they're telling Giovanni, watch what you're saying out there.
Well, he did it with I didn't hear what he said, but he did it with the guy's back turned.
Giovanni
He's
very
really
upset
hot.
out there.
Keefe is super hot too. We don't have a microphone down there, but I really am interested in what. I mean, there's a lot being said down there. And why give Keefe such a long leash and throw Cardulo out unless he said something really unacceptable? I don't know. I hate to speculate, but that doesn't really make any sense to me. No, and not criticizing these umpires because we've seen Lindy Hall and Larry Rosenberg and Thomas Newsom, and they've done a really good job. And with all these new rules, they get a lot of things thrown at them. And I know that keeping up with these rules and having to talk to all these players all the time when the rules change so much, I know this is a tall order. And Giovanni Alfonso's still going here, Kendrick.
Oh, yeah, and now Giovanni's been thrown out of the game. I think he made contact with the base umpire, and now this is two Rockers thrown out here. And
I've never seen anything like this.
Giovanni Alfonso, the guy who's always been
now Quincy's going, and now Matt Jones.
Somebody else has been thrown out now.
Jared Mitchell just got thrown out. So we've seen three guys get thrown out of the game. Do we have that many on the bench? They've done 3 players out of the game.
I'm keeping an eye out there. There might be more coming here.
I think Jamie's going to go here pretty soon.
I'm surprised. Yeah, so I'm looking right here. Nigro and Schroeder and Marquise Riley are the 3 guys that we have left. So if one more person gets thrown out,
we're going to have to move a pitcher out there.
This is not a good situation at all. Nobody's gone out to right field yet. I assume Miles Schroeder will have to come out onto the field.
Oh, Rosa, another guy got thrown.
Yeah, I think
2 more guys get thrown.
I think Quincy and Mitchell have both been thrown out.
Well, I think another player's been thrown because he made it twice, and I thought Mitchell was already gone.
I can't.
So we're gonna have a lot of changes coming. I don't know what happened.
It all started with Cardulo getting thrown out. Giovanni Alfonso was.
And here comes Frank Viola. Did they just throw out Michael Bowden?
I'm not sure what's going. So here comes Miles Schroeder out of the dugout.
This is pandemonium.
There's 4 different arguments going on the field. Jamie's got one umpire. Viola's coming out here now.
Viola never comes out. So if Viola's coming out, he's going to come protect this guy. And come on, I mean, I don't know what's being said, but the fans want to see the players. Why throw out 3 players? I didn't know if anybody touched anybody, but the fans want to come and see the players, right, Kendrick?
They do. I know Giovanni was upset. I
think they might have touched chest. Okay.
So
if you touch, you got to go, right? And the way Giovanni was going, it kind of felt like he wanted to go.
Bowden is gone. Bowden's heading off.
Oh, man, this is really not what you want to see, and I don't know what happened. So they're going to have to warm somebody up.
I don't know who's in and who's out anymore.
I'm gonna see if I can get some explanations here to try to get a little clarity. I don't know who's available. I think 5 guys are leaving, at least.
Yeah. So Schroeder has come off the bench. That leaves Marquise Riley and Frank Nigro. And so now I think they're trying to figure out what pitchers are potentially going to have to come in and play other positions. Schroeder playing catch with Vio Sergi Rosa to get himself warmed up. Jamie Keefe's not done yet. He's still heading over to have a couple more words with the umpire. Folks, we're not really sure what happened out there. Jamie's thrown his hat now. As Jamie picks up his hat and tosses it as he storms off the field. There's so much that happened. I don't really know how to explain to you what's gone on out here.
I've never seen anything quite like this.
I'm hoping we can get some sort of an explanation at some point. And Sam Runyon is coming in to pitch, it looks like.
And, all credit to the umpires. I'm not out here trying to start anything, but I don't know what these guys did, but I think Billy got tossed too. So you toss 7 guys in something that wasn't a full-on altercation when it comes to physical. And, you're tossing guys out of the game that Rocker fans came to see. I don't know what happened, but to toss this many guys, I don't know. And I know that they were fired up, but something was mismanaged at the beginning. I don't know if that was the Rockers mismanaged their tempers or if the umpire mismanaged the narrative. I don't know what, but they've completely lost control.
The Rockers coaching staff is all sitting together. So Quincy's still out there, so Quincy must not have gotten tossed.
Okay, Quincy's staying in. Do you think they might decide to not play?
I'm almost wondering.
That's what it feels like, does it not?
It certainly does, which would be awful for the fans here. Who is that right there that's talking with Billy Horn? I can't see. Is that
Giovanni Alfonso?
No, right here with Billy Horn.
I think that's Bowden.
Okay, that's Bowden. There goes Marquise Riley onto the field, so it looks like he's going to come play shortstop. No, he's going to come play second, I guess. I think Michael Russell is going to go to short.
So we've had like a 20-minute delay, I think.
Man, Runyon is out.
Right? It's been like 15, 20
Something
minutes.
like that. I mean, usually talk about 7-inning games go a little quicker. Not this one,
The
folks.
Blue Crabs are sitting on the dugout. They can't really believe what's happened. They're just trying to figure out what's going on. So Riley's in the game at second base.
Frank Viola's talking to the third base umpire now from across the way.
It looks like Russell has moved to short.
Right. Russell's at short. Riley is at second. Miles Schroeder is now in center field. Who's out in right field though?
I can't tell. I think Giovanni's still out there, or he might have finally come in now.
Is that Nigro in right field? Nigro's the only other player available because Via Sergi Rosa's in the lineup as the DH. Unless there's a position player out there, right? I don't know.
We got the glare off the glass. I can't see, and Keith's still going at it here.
Trying to see the number of that guy out there in right field.
And Jared Mitchell has been kicked out of the game.
Yeah, Mitchell is gone.
So Sam Runyon has to pitch, and Michael Bowden is out of the game now, which is really unfortunate. is.
All right, so we do know Sam Runyon is the new pitcher. 3-2, 4.83 ERA in 50 innings. Hopefully we can get some sort of clarification from somebody. This game has been put under protest is what it looks like. The Rockers have put this game under protest as they've obviously felt like the rules have not been effectively put into practice.
Wow, and Keefe is still walking around, so it's going to be a few minutes. It looks like they're going over there. Bowden comes in. I just saw Mitchell come in as well. Cardulo's come in. This is unbelievable. I've never seen anything quite like this.
No, and the Rockers at this point still trying to figure out who that is in right field, but I believe they have exhausted their entire bench here. So I guess Runyon has completed his warm-up tosses here, and we will continue on as best as we can. This is a mess.
So Alfonso didn't get tossed.
Okay, so Giovanni's in right field.
Because I thought he got ejected.
So Mitchell, Cardulo, and Bowden and Jamie Keefe, I guess, are the four that we know for sure.
Do we know Keefe went?
I guess we don't.
Because I haven't seen him leave.
No, he's right there on the top step. I'm pretty sure that's him. As that pitch fouled off the hitter, Charlie Valerio. Hopefully we can get some sort of clarification on things.
It's just unfortunate when you see players have to leave, especially from a discussion point of view.
That pitch misses. Count 1-1 to Valerio. Yeah. Just a very odd situation. Here's the 1-1. Swung on. Valerio hits this one high in the air to center. Schroeder is there, and he makes the catch for out number one. Well, I tell you what, if nothing else, there's certainly going to be a little bit of high tension if any other calls are questionable from here on out. So here comes Joe Benson now, as we're all still trying to regroup and figure out what exactly just happened. Pandemonium here at the ballpark for the last 20 minutes or so as that pitch misses ball one to Benson. But we still have a baseball game to play. The score's 3-1. We're in the top of the fourth inning, and Runyon deals curveball up high to Benson, and the count now is 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 is going to miss down and away. 3 balls, no strikes now. Line score 3-4-0 for the Blue Crabs, 1-1-2 for the Rockers. And Runyon deals the 3-0, and that's a called strike to Benson here with 1 out in the fourth.
So we have... Excuse me.
Yo, I want to know what you learned. We do know. Let's start with what we know. This game is under protest right now.
Game is under protest. We don't have necessarily clarification over, what the issues were, what words were said, and we'll never know that. But what we do know is that Jared Mitchell has been ejected from the game. Mm-hmm. The first to go was Steven Cardulo.
Right.
The last to go was Michael Bowden.
Okay.
3 official ejections. Jamie Keefe's still out there. Yes. Okay. We're just getting confirmation. Jamie Keefe is still in the mix, and that's interesting to me that that the umpires gave Jamie Keefe such a leash. That's what I said to you. Because usually the manager goes out there to protect the player.
There's Benson swing and a missed strike three. A nice pitch there from Runyon, who, before we continue on that, Runyon's come into a tough spot and retired the first two hitters he's faced. Let's give a moment to Sam Runyon here.
He's coming in an impossible moment. The tension, the emotion is high. The feelings are mixed here, amongst the fans. They want to see the players they love. Not to say that the guys who came in, they loved them as well, but they thought they had the day off. So those guys had to come in and jump into action. But that's what's so great, as there's a strike there from Runyon. That's what's so great about this Rocker team. Even if guys have a day off, they don't care. They jump into action right away and they're ready to go. Once again, like we said, credit to the umpires. They have to deal with a lot of stuff, a lot of the rule changes, a lot of the drama. So I know they got a lot going on.
This one hit high and deep into left field. Lattimore's going to just watch it as Ruby Silva's home run number 10 here. And the Blue Crabs extend their lead now 4-1 in the fourth inning.
If you're the Blue Crabs, there's been chaos. So what do? You gotta capitalize on the chaos, and they do right there. They cash in on everything that's happening with a home run.
So that will bring up Travis Witherspoon, the number 9 hitter. And Runyon deals first pitch to Witherspoon. That's going to miss just away for ball 1 here. 2 outs in the top of the fourth inning. Rockers with a 4-1 deficit right now. Here's the pitch. That's chopped on the ground to short. Russell scoops it, throws on the run onto first base in time. And so that will retire things here at the Blue Crabs in the top of the fourth inning, but not before Ruby Silva, with his 10th home run of the year, gives the Blue Crabs a 4-1 lead. This is High Point Rocker baseball.
Let's look over to the first base line, and you'll find Brittany. Take it away, Brittany.
Rocker fans, who's ready for tonight's Dizzy Bat contest? We have Bailey and Joe who are going to go up against one another in tonight's Dizzy Bat race. Are you girls ready? All right. On your mark, get set, spin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, keep going, 8, 9, 10. 10, you're good, go. Congratulations. Congratulations, Bailey, you're tonight's winner, and you get to go shopping at our Rockers Wear store.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Bottom of the fourth inning, and here's the pitch to Gomez. That's a called strike from Darryl Thompson, so the count 1-1. We missed the first pitch, so the count is 1-1 to Hector Gomez. And quite an eventful ball game here in the middle stages. Blue Crabs lead by a score of 4-1 as Gomez fouls this one off, and the count is 1-2. There will be lots of moving around in the Rockers lineup here as we try to sort through it all. And here's the 1-2. That's down in the turf. And a good block there by the catcher, Valerio, and the count now 2-2.
Well, and I wanted to, like I said to Kendrick, your lineup card might be a little out of sorts here because they're going to move guys in and out. So your lineup card might be a little bit messed up now.
Gomez pokes this one out into left field. Gave it a pretty good ride, but it's caught by Benson on the run for out number 1.
And after 30 minutes of sitting basically idle, how does this affect you if you're Daryl Thompson?
Yeah, it's a lot of times you talk about a pitcher who doesn't come back after a rain delay, and what we effectively had was a small rain delay there on the field in terms of time.
By the time they kicked everybody out of the game, and by the time we figured out what the deal was, it took about 20 minutes.
Here's the first pitch to Quincy Lattimore. Chops this one on the ground to short. Garcia deep in the hole, picks it up, throws to first in time, out number 2. And so, again, we did confirm 3 players were thrown out, correct? It was Jared Mitchell, Steven Cardullo.
3 players were ejected. Steven Cardullo was ejected. Bowden. Michael Bowden was ejected, which very rarely do you see a starting pitcher get ejected.
And I watched Michael Bowden. He was the most calm out of everybody out there.
And you saw Jared Mitchell get thrown out as well. Giovanni Alfonso was getting... very, very passionate. So he stayed in the game, and he's in right field, and that's helpful to the Rockers. And like we said, Giovanni Alfonso, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. So glad he's still in the game and in right field. And, I'm sure the Blue Crabs...
That pitch in there for a strike to Schaefer.
I'm sure the Blue Crabs are thinking, they're playing baseball. That's what they got to do. They want to play, the best the Rockers have to offer. So, regardless of the circumstances, that pitch is a ball. Regardless of the circumstances, not taking sides, not getting into the drama, and we can wrap it up here. I know people are probably tired of hearing about it, but regardless of the circumstances, it's a shame it had to come to that. Regardless of who is at fault, it's a shame that that had to take place.
2-1 to Schaefer, a strike, so the count 2-2. And lost in all that is that's the 50th pitch from Daryl Thompson. He's well on his way to completing this game with the way he's pitching right now. Rockers have somebody up in the bullpen. It's going to be a bullpen game from here on out. Curveball misses, and the count is full. Sam Runyon came in and did a solid job. Take out the home run. He got the first 2 guys out that he faced. And
Runyon had a rushed warm-up. He had to come in with emotions at its peak high, and he had to deal with, so many different things.
That pitch swung on and fouled up out of play, and the count stays at 3-2. Yeah, by my calculations, the only position player left on the bench right now is Frank Nigro. As Schaefer swings and misses, strike 3. That's the final out of the inning. So the Rockers go down 1-2-3 in the 4th. We go to the 5th. Rockers go to the pen. This is High Point Rockers baseball.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
The American flag giveaway for Patriot Day.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of the Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous.
Top of the fifth inning, new pitcher for the High Point Rockers is Kyle Halbone, and what a great year he has had. For the Rockers in 9 appearances so far this year, 1-0, 2.84 ERA. They traded him to the Chicago Dogs of the American Association, went 2-0 with a 1.98 ERA, and he's just now come back to High Point. So he's having one of the best seasons of his career, and he'll deal to Kent Blackstone here to start the fifth inning, first pitch, ball 1. And here's the pitch, swung on and hit high in the air to left field. Coming in is Quincy Lattimore, and he'll put it away for the out. Brings up Edwin Garcia. He has a single and a strikeout today. Top of the fifth, Kendrick Fruits, Kevin McMahon with you here. Rockers trail 4-1 in the night cap of today's doubleheader. I want to remind you a couple other games in progress right now. Patriots B is tied up at 3. Ducks have a 6-3 lead on the Barnstormers. Skeeters lead the Revolution by a count of 3-1 as the first pitch to Garcia misses ball 1. Here's the pitch from Halbone, a fastball up and in, backs Garcia off, and the count now 2-0. And here's the pitch. Swung on. He pokes this one foul down the first base side foul. And the count is 2-1. And here is the 2-1. Swung on, hit high in the air to right field. Alfonso is there. We'll see how he does with a fly ball. Makes the catch. So far, so good for Giovanni in right field.
Great job by Giovanni Alfonso. The great thing about Giovanni Alfonso is anytime you need him to move around, he will. You know, they had to bring in Marquise Riley because of the loss to Stephen Cardulo and then the loss of Jared Mitchell also moved things around. So you have to move Marquise over to second base. You take Russell from second to short.
First pitch to Griffin is ball 1.
You move Giovanni from short to right. You move Schroeder from the dugout to center field. The only guy in his exact same spot is Quincy Lattimore and Hector Gomez and Matt Jones and Richie Schaefer.
Swing and a miss there, and the count is 1-1.
So 4 out of the 5 guys on the field are in their same spot. And then 3 out of the 5 in new spots weren't on the field 5 minutes ago.
And an off-speed pitch from Halbone in there for a strike. And the count 1-2. He's about to work a really nice 1-2-3 inning.
If the Rockers come back and win this would be unbelievable.
And here is the 1-2. He spikes this one, gets away from Matt Jones. But Griffin will stay put, so the count 2-2. This game was moved from tomorrow night to tonight, obviously, as North Carolina and South Carolina and the entire Southeast Coast bracing for Hurricane Dorian. And, of course, we want to extend our thoughts and best wishes to those who are in the in the center of that storm right now, as this one is hit into shallow right field. Coming in is Alfonso. He's challenged twice, and he's 2 for 2. Giovanni's showing off some leather out there in right field, and we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's 4-1 Blue Crabs. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And this show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes.
First pitch to Vio Sergi Rosa. He pops this one a mile high, up and out of play, foul ball. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Rockers trail 4-1 as they're trying to figure out Darryl Thompson. Hector Gomez, the only one to do so far, a solo home run in the first inning, the only hit the Rockers have. Rosa trying to change it, lines it into right field. That'll get down for extra bases. Via Sergi Rosa charging hard to second. Here comes the throw, and he is out. A nice play. The throw from Silva went up into Via Sergi Rosa, and as Garcia went just to catch the ball, he happened to be there and tag Rosa for the out. Just tough luck there for the Rockers.
What a tough break. You're going to have the bottom of the 5th with 2 innings left, and you would have had a leadoff double, and you're 3 runs away, and all of a sudden you are really in business. And unfortunately, for the Rockers, Vio Sergi Rosa just gets tagged out. But how about the Blue Crabs, man? There's been a lot of chaos on the other side. There's been a lot of stuff going on, and they've held tough the entire time.
First pitch to Michael Russell, misses for a ball. And you know what makes that play, Kevin, possible is the fact that it wasn't a great throw. The fact that it was not a good throw up the line, and Garcia, just by catching it, happened to be right in the way of Via Sergi Rosa as Russell lines this one into center field for a base hit.
You know what I'm going to say, and I think you're really good at verbalizing things like this, so you can help me.
Okay.
But Darryl Thompson, when you look at his scouting report, he gives up. If you could have one criticism of him, he gives up too many home runs.
Yeah.
He doesn't really give up base hits. So if you're starting to get base hits on him, he could be cooling off a little bit. Does that make sense?
That's a very fair point to make. And so, here's a guy in Matt Jones who was hot early on today, had 3 RBIs in the first game. See if he can capitalize here off of Thompson. Skies this one a mile high, up out of play. And the count 0-1. Thompson is at 58 pitches by my count. Having to keep tabs by hand here in this game, so give or take a pitch or two from what I'm at, but that'll give you the gist. You know roughly where Thompson's at right now. It's a curve ball there. It's a nice looking one. That's been a good go-to for him tonight is now 0-2 to Matt Jones.
Once again, if you're just joining us here, there's been a lot of changes here for the Rockers in their lineup. The game is being played under protest.
Runner goes. Here's the pitch. A curveball spiked. Valerio's throw is not in time. I'll tell you what, Michael Russell slid so early that he had almost stopped moving before he got to the bag, but he is in there safely with a stolen base. And the Rockers have a runner in scoring position. Russell, one of the better base stealers on the High Point Rockers this year. Here's the 1-2 to Jones. Another curveball, and that's away, 2-2. Michael Russell, 19 steals, which is the... he has the team lead, I should say. If you don't count Jared Mitchell, who, of course, acquired most of his steals as a member of the Sugarland Skeeters. His play is stopped as baseball gets loose from the bullpen. Pitch number 61 from Darryl Thompson will be a 2-2 offering to Matt Jones with Russell on second base. Rockers at least need to get one here. They've got a good opportunity to do so. And here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled up and out of play. And the count will remain 2-2. It's too bad you only have one base runner to show for, but back-to-back hits here for the Rockers, though. You got to think that maybe they're starting to figure Thompson out.
And that's what I was trying to say. Maybe things are moving around, especially when you had the lineup the way it is now.
Here's the 2-2. Jones chops this one weakly on the ground to Garcia. Good job by Russell to get away from it. Here comes the throw to third.
Play.
It's a good job there by Garcia, thinking he can get the lead runner Russell, and he does.
I know. Folks are probably tired of hearing us talking about it, but I think there are some folks tuning in for the first time who maybe don't know. So just quickly, I did say under protest, and I didn't explain right away. So the Rockers have put the game under protest because there was a play in the third inning third, right?
Bottom of the third,
where Darryl Thompson, the pitcher for the Blue Crabs, didn't. There was an argument that the Rockers weren't sure that he didn't disengage because when you take your foot off of the rubber.
Curveball to Alfonso is a strike.
You know, when you take your foot off of the rubber to throw over to first, you have to disengage and then make your move. They thought it was too quick, so they were challenging that the umpires missed a balk call, and that's why they put the game under protest. And then, as we know, chaos ensued.
Here's the 0-1, a big swing by Alfonso and a miss, and the count is now 0-2.
Giovanni Alfonso stayed in his spot, though. He didn't move in his lineup due to all the substitutions. And Marquise Riley will get to see him hit here today, so that's exciting.
Here's the 0-2 to Alfonso. He fouls this one off. 2 outs here, bottom of the 5th inning. It's a 7-inning contest, so the Rockers have just 7 more outs to try to come back from a 3-run deficit. Somebody up in the bullpen right now for the Rockers, so Halbone probably done, but it was a nice inning coming in relief. Here's the 0-2 to Alfonso. Hits this one on the ground to Thomas at third. He's going to go the short way to second. Blackstone is there to make the catch and step on the bag for the final out of the inning. So that'll do it for the Rockers in the 5th. And they still, although they might be able to catch or figure out Thompson a little bit, they still can't figure him out for another run. We go to the top of the 6th inning. 2 innings to go. Blue Crabs lead 4-1.
The host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This call to the bullpen brought to you by Cricket Wireless. Now pitching for your High Point Rockers, number 24, Dusty Isaac.
Dusty Isaacs toes the rubber for the Rockers, the next man out of the bullpen to do so. 1-2 this year, 5.03 earned run average for him. And he deals first pitch to Tony Thomas, and that's a called strike.
Important to remember, the Rockers won the first game, so if they can figure out a way to win this game, they would split the series.
Thomas just fouls it off, 0-2.
The Blue Crabs still in play to win the series, so if they win game number 4, they pick up a series win, and they because of the Rockers win last game, they ensure that they have won the season series. Mm-hmm. However, it would be 11-10.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it would be 11-10 if the Blue Crabs grab a win here. It would be 12-9 otherwise.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Tony Thomas. A good pitch there from Dusty Isaacs. Out number 1 here in the 6th. And the good thing for the Rockers is Vaughn's the hitter coming up now. Obviously, you still have to face Tony Thomas and Corey Vaughn, but you get through this portion lineup here in the 6th inning, and you don't have to deal with them in the 7th.
You said it.
I did. Here is Corey Vaughn. Isaac's pumping a fastball in there called strike. Vaughn on the day 0 for 1, also reached via a walk. Isaac's working third base side of the rubber, kicks and deals, got the high socks going. This one swung on to hit a long way into center field. Schroeder going back at the wall, makes the catch. I tell you what,
wow!
If it's 400 feet out there to center field, Miles Schroeder needed 399 of it.
399. You took the words right out of my mouth. That was 399 right there. And yes, that wasn't a jump over the wall and rob, but it basically was. So the way he had to track that down, that's not as flashy as jumping 6 feet in the air and bringing the ball back in the park, but he did that with his feet. He covered so much ground because you don't realize from out here how far that is. He covered a lot of ground. He went from the middle of the batter's eye all the way to the deepest part of the ballpark. Left center field to get that ball.
First pitch to the catcher, Charlie Valerio, ball 1. And Isaacs comes set. And this one's chopped weakly down the first base side. Scooped by Richie Schaefer in foul territory. So the count 1-1.
That would have been a good play right there. I think he was hoping for that one.
Yeah, Isaacs would have taken a 1-2-3 that quick.
Just foul. Rockers are going to have 2 more chances to hit at least. 2 if they need them. They could score 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th and then take a lead into the 7th. We'll have to wait and see.
Here's the pitch, swung on and fouled off, and the count 1-2 now to Valerio.
There hasn't even been as much as a little bit of stirring in the bullpen down there for the Blue Crabs, so
No, Daryl Thompson, by my count, is at 65, so he's fine.
Unless something unforeseen happens, he's penciled in for 7.
And he's a guy that can go 115 if really needed. Here's the 1-2 to Valerio. That's going to miss just a bit away. And the count now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And what would have been the Michael Bowden night? We don't know. Because he put together 2 zeros after those 3 runs he gave up in the first inning. And I don't know about you, but it felt like he was kind of settling down and getting into his zone.
I think so. I think the pitch count wouldn't have let him go much more than 5, but I think he would have gotten a solid 5 as this one's popped into foul territory. Long run for Gomez. He's close to the boundary, but he'll make the catch. Good job there by Hector Gomez for the final out of the inning. So it's a pretty quick 1-2-3 for Dusty Isaacs. Rockers offense looked like they were starting to stir in the bottom half of the 5th. Let's see if they can break through for a run here in the 6th. It's 4-1 Blue Crabs. This is High Point Rockers Baseball.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth,
co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, top half of the lineup, bottom of the 6th, and Marquise Riley getting his first cracks out of here, looking for his first High Point Rockers hit. He's 0 for, I think, 3 as a High Point Rocker, maybe 0 for 4. First pitch in there, a strike from Thompson.
I would love Marquise Riley to get a hit here. He's the guy who joined the Rockers to help him out, to give him some extra help. That was a good swing there.
He's down in the count, though, nothing in 2. Miles Schroeder on deck. He came in for Jared Mitchell in the 4th inning. And here's the 0-2 to Marquise Riley. It's a curveball. He's out in front. Strike 3. And Daryl Thompson, a quick 3-pitch out to start the 6th inning. Just the 3rd strikeout for Thompson.
Marquise Riley is an assistant coach at NCA&T for their baseball team. So he's a guy who's been coaching for a little while and still trying to play pro baseball. So, got called by the Rockers and came out here and has given it a try and helped them out. And he's playing second base and really being, helpful for these Rockers.
Schroeder chops this one weakly back to the mound. Thompson underhands it over to first. And that's quickly 2 away here. And if there were any doubts in your mind that maybe Daryl Thompson, whether or not he would finish the game, he's got 2 outs here in the 6th inning at just 69 pitches. So I think he is good to go. But we're also hoping, of course, the Rockers can get to him and drive him from this game. There is Matt Latos in the pen.
Wow. You think about that combination.
So there is that.
You think about Daryl Thompson to Matt Latos, that's pretty hard to – that feels like a pretty tough combination right there.
First pitch to Gomez, a strike. Yeah, I just happened to look up, and I saw Latos starting to throw out there. Rockers have a lefty in the bullpen. I believe it's Hutchinson. And here's a curveball that's going to miss in to Hector Gomez, pitch number 71. And Thompson kicks, deals the fastball, weakly chopped towards short. Garcia's going to have to barehand it. The throw to first in time. I thought Gomez beat. Wow.
What a play.
That was a great play. I thought Hector Gomez beat that one out, but he's called out at first base for a 1-2-3 inning.
Barehanded.
It was a great play by Garcia. You talk about how good the shortstops are in this league, at least defensively, and that's another example of it. We go to the last inning of play, at least last inning of regulation. 4-1 Blue Crabs. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
That was close. We're going to give the first round over here to Justin. All right, Austin, here's your
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, guys.
This is Keith.
And Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Leading off for Southern Maryland, left fielder, number 52.
Top of the 7th inning, which is basically like saying top of the 9th inning here in a 7-inning game. Joe Benson steps in. It'll be Benson, Silva, and Witherspoon. First pitch to Benson, a strike. Chase Hutchinson, the new pitcher for the Rockers, 5-4 record, 3.26 ERA, 47 strikeouts in 49 innings of work. Hutchinson deals, swing, and a miss, 0-2 quickly to Benson. Kendrick Fruits, Kevin McMahon here with you.
That's us.
Last I checked, it was. Here's the 0-2. And that's strike 3 at the knees. They're going to ring up Benson. He's not happy with the call.
Yeah, Benson was less than thrilled about that call. But you got to give credit to the Blue Crabs. While everything has, happened around them, they have stayed in their zone and played baseball, and that's been what's kind of given them the difference tonight.
Speaking of giving credit where credit's due, as Ruby Silva comes into the plate, or comes in to hit, first pitch from Hutchinson in. I want to give you credit where it's due, Kevin. You had a big announcement that I wanted to go ahead and give you a chance to say that before the postgame show in case people tuned off early.
Oh, I appreciate it. We'll talk about it in the postgame show, but this is my last game with the Rockers here.
The 1-0 chop towards third. Nice backhand there by Gomez. Fires it onto first. Good play by the Rocker third baseman. 2 away.
My last 2 games, if you include the one this afternoon, I definitely do. That was a very fun one. Glad we got to see a Rocker win. And, yeah, I got going to take a full-time job. So got a new opportunity that arose, but wouldn't have been able to do that without all the help from the High Point Rockers, and loved being able to be with you each and every evening as you and I experienced High Point Rocker baseball and Atlantic League baseball in High Point, North Carolina, and downtown High Point for the very first time. And it was a wonderful adventure, and I appreciate everybody who took that journey with me and with you as well, Kendrick. I appreciate it, and we'll cry later in the postgame.
Here's the 1-0 to Witherspoon. He swings and rips this one down the line, foul. obviously I speak for everybody here. We appreciate everything you've done for the Rockers and the great way that you've represented them here in your time here. And certainly, obviously, wish you the best. We know you'll be fantastic at your new position.
Well, thank you. And we'll get more into that stuff at the end, just another sign off. But right now, we're worried about these Rockers trying to get this win right here, as the Blue Crabs also would love to have a series win against the Rockers.
That one's down and in against Witherspoon. He steps out of the way of it, so the count now 2 balls and a strike.
You know who I want to give a lot of credit to? The bullpen. They got put into a position where you don't expect your pitcher. When your pitcher's getting taken out, you feel like you can kind of know when it's going to happen. You can kind of play for it. And, they get the bullpen ready and everyone can prepare. You don't expect them to get ejected from the ball game. So when that happens, you got to, make some pretty quick decisions, and credit to the Rockers, just tremendous coaching staff. Albert Gonzalez, all those guys.
2-2 to Witherspoon inside. Count goes full now. Yeah, injuries and ejections, the two things you can never really plan for here in baseball.
In between, Viola, Keefe, Horn, and Gonzalez, they all met together right in front of the field. They were able to put together a pretty quick plan. When you lose 3 guys in the course of 30 seconds, they were able to put together a pretty quick plan. I thought that was foul.
That pitch was listed, looks like they might have said strike 3, and it gets away from Jones. I thought he might have got a piece on it too at first, but no argument coming from anybody on the field, so it's a dropped strike 3, and the inning will continue here with 2 outs in the inning, and Kenton Blackstone comes up.
The second time this series we have seen a play like that result in a base runner. The drop third strike there, which is
the only difference.
I was going to say the drop third strike there is a rule that you will see playable in every form of baseball. The other one we saw yesterday is only available here in the Atlantic League, the stolen first base.
First pitch to Blackstone missed for a ball. And here is the 1-0. He chops this one right behind the mound. And who's going to get there? It's going to be Riley. The throw on to first, not in time, as there was about to be a collision between Witherspoon, Russell, and Riley. It was a tough play for Riley to make, but it ended up making it look pretty close.
And Witherspoon, not on purpose, ended up setting a screen on Marquise Riley, who tried to come in and make the play. And he had to go around Witherspoon, and it was not on purpose for Witherspoon. He was just keeping his base, which if he wanted to, he could have kind of moved more in that position. He actually ran right to second base and made the right play, and just made it really tough for Riley.
Score update from around the league. The Somerset Patriots just scratched a run across in the top of the 7th inning. They now lead the New Britain Bees by a score of 4-1. So that one's certainly getting interesting. And if the Bees lose and the Rockers can't come back, at least they will hold on to that second place spot, as that pitch misses for a ball to Edwin Garcia. And here's the pitch. That's a strike at the knees, count 1-1. Witherspoon, the runner at second, and Blackstone, the runner at first. Here's the 1-1 to Garcia from Hutchinson. That's down low, stabbed by Matt Jones, and the count now 2-1. 2 outs here, top of the 7th inning. Rockers will have their final chance next in the bottom half of the inning. We still don't know whether we will see Thompson or Latos. This one is ripped into right field. That's a base hit. Alfonso, they're going to test his arm. Alfonso fires this one to the plate. Here comes the tag. He's safe. He got just in under the tag of Matt Jones. What a gun there from Giovanni Alfonso. The RBI base hit and made a perfect throw to Matt Jones. It could not have been a better throw.
And I'm going to say this. I don't know what it means. I just saw a member of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs bullpen. He got up on the front step, leaned down to the bullpen, and he said he moved his hands down in a downward motion. As I would interpret that as to sit down.
I think what it actually means, they're telling Latos to power down. Still get loose, but you're not coming in right off, so don't throw with urgency anymore. as the first pitch is a called strike. Basically, I would assume that Latos is getting ready in the event of emergency.
You're going to be break glass in case of emergency.
Yes, if something happens, if Thompson struggles out of the gate, they're going to go to Latos. So they're saying, stay loose, stay ready, but you're not coming in right off.
So it sounds like the initial plan was to bring him in right off the bat.
I believe that from that implication, that's what I'm getting out of is that pitch misses and the count is now 1-1.
And what I was going to say before I noticed that in the dugout, Edwin Garcia, we talk about his defense. He might have just put this game away here for the Blue Crabs, especially when you think about having Daryl Thompson to go to.
That pitch misses 2-1. It certainly kind of feels that way. But, Kevin, as I was giving the score update when you stepped out, the Somerset Patriots scored to take a 4-3 lead on the Bees. So if the Rockers lose, at least they'll still be right there with New Britain in terms of the standings because the Bees did not win their game today. If both games hold as they currently are, as that pitch misses 3-1.
And you never know. We've seen some crazy stuff. Let's see what the Rockers can do. They've had, these Rockers never give up. That's the best thing about them. So we'll have to see what happens. This game definitely not over, but Edwin Garcia, that is not just another number on the board. That's a difference-making hit.
Yeah, not counting him out by any stretch of the imagination. That pitch in there for a strike. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to John Griffin. One bad one will load the bases, or 1 strike, 3 will get the Rockers out of the top of the 7th, and they'll go to the bottom half of the inning. It'll be Lattimore, Schaefer, and Rosa. 3 good hitters coming up. Runners go. Here's the 3-2. Strike 3 looking. Down goes John Griffin. So Hutchinson allows the 1 run, but he's able to strand the other 2. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. Rockers down 4, and they've got Daryl Thompson to work with. Here is the bottom of the 7th coming up next.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Bottom of the 7th inning, and the Rockers have to come up with 4 runs against Daryl Thompson and Matt Latos, or some combination of the two. Lattimore swings and hits this one a mile high into left field. Going back is Benson, makes the catch quickly for 1 out here in the 7th, and that'll bring up Richie Schaefer's 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. By my count, Thompson's sitting in the neighborhood of about 75 pitches right now, so pitch count will not be the reason he gets knocked out of this game. The only thing that's going to do that is if the High Point Rockers get something going here with 1 out in the bottom of the final inning. But again, they have a tall order ahead of them, needing 4 runs to tie. That run in the top of the 7th inning could prove to just be a little too much as that first pitch misses, because it's one thing to need 3 runs to tie, but 4 just feels a lot bigger. Here is the 1-0 to Schaefer, And that's down low in the count now. 2 balls, no strikes. Vio Sergi Rosa waits on deck. The 2-0 is in there, called strike. By my count, this next pitch from Thompson will be his 75th. That shows you how efficient he has been today. Schaefer hits this one a mile high on the right side of the infield. And the first baseman, Griffin, there makes the catch. And that is 2 away. Rockers down to their final out here. Bring up the designated hitter, Vio Sergi Rosa. He is 1 for 2 today. Kevin, remember a couple of weeks ago when the York Revolution, I believe it was, put a game under protest, and we talked about the fact that we might have to redo a bunch of that. Well, same thing here. Obviously, you got to take it at face value, and the Rockers are 1 out away from losing this game.
So here's the $1 million question. Here's the trivia question to end all trivia questions.
Okay.
Here's the baseball logic question.
All right.
If it's protest and they have to replay it, they play 3 out of 7, right? You don't play 3 out of 9. You have to replay a 7-inning game, right?
I would assume so. That's a good question, though.
I mean, how difficult can it get? How confusing can we make this?
The 1-1 to Rosa misses. It's 2-1 now.
Because I guess you can't add, but it would be a restart of a game so you can make up the rule. I don't know.
That's a good question. I say we wait until there's a final decision made before we even bring that one up.
That's true, because they could look at it, and they very well could look at it and say, you know what? There's not enough evidence here to overturn it.
Or they could say it's not a misinterpretation of the rules. The rules were because there's a difference between enforcing the rules incorrectly and a bad call. Here's the 2-2 to Rosa. He swings, rips this one hard down the line. The count stays 2-2. And again, I'm not saying it was one or the other. My point simply being, if the league president determines it was one or the other, that will influence his decision.
You're just trying to explain where everything falls under what rule.
Here's the 2-2. Rosa stays alive, just got a piece of it. And so the Rockers, who are still down to their final strike, are battling hard.
And you saw Valerio reaching out for that. If he makes that catch, that's the end of the ball game.
That would have been a great catch, too, with his bare hand. So Daryl Thompson looking for the complete game. Here is the 2-2 pitch to Vio Sergi Rosa. Curveball. And he just gets a piece of it and stays alive again. Nobody in the bullpen now. I think with 2 outs, they feel pretty confident. Matt Latos has sat back down, but he has thrown enough. In the event the Rockers get something going here, he'll be ready to go. But Daryl Thompson hoping to take care of it himself. Vio Sergi Rosa having a quick conversation with the home plate umpire.
I think he was just making sure he got timeout.
I think he was. Here is the 2-2 from Thompson. He kicks, he deals. Rosa fouls it off again. And I'll tell you what, we've got to talk a little bit about Daryl Thompson. We know he's the best pitcher in the league, but he's looking for win number 15 right now. I think the next closest in the league has 9.
And he's got to give a big hug to Edwin Garcia when this is all over, because Garcia's RBI made sure he stayed in the game.
Here is the 2-2 up and away, ball 3. I can't count. Was willing it to be ball 4. And here is the 3-2. He kicks, he deals, and that is ball 4. Vio Sergi Rosa works a 2-out walk. And I tell you what, that pitch could not be much closer.
Wow, I can't believe he took that. That is a great eye by Vio Sergi Rosa. That's a pitch you only feel comfortable taking if you have 10 years plus of professional baseball experience, which so many of these guys do. And Vio Sergi Rosa really just hanging in there and taking a huge pitch. And here the Rockers are again with 2 outs. Let's see what can happen here.
Only 3 hits off of Thompson today. Michael Russell steps in and picks on this one and skies it down the right field side. It's going to get out of play. 0-1 is the count.
No better time than right now for a little rally if you're a Rocker fan.
I think if they come back from this one, this might be the most impressive comeback the Rockers have had all season. I know there was a game earlier this year they were down 6 and came back to win, but against this caliber of pitching, this might be it if they can come back.
With the circumstances. I mean, if Now, it's 2 strikes here, so we're playing what if. But if it did happen, if it does happen, there'd be a lot to talk about.
Thompson looks in, gets the 0-2 sign from Valerio, comes set from the third base side of the rubber. Slide step, curveball, and Russell takes count 1-2. Rosa, the runner at first. Latos has gotten back up in the bullpen just to throw a couple of pitches. Now pitch count starting to be an issue as he's getting up towards 90 as Thompson. Here's the pitch. Russell swings, lines this one into right field. That'll be a base hit, and that might be it for Thompson. I think potentially we could see Matt Latos come in here.
It can't be, though, because he sat down for a minute. So he's going to have to at least pitch to Matt Jones. So they're going to, yeah, I think he is, even though Clyburn's right there. I don't think he's ready yet.
Well, he's going to make the move nonetheless. He's heading out to the mound. He's already signaled for Matt Latos. And although it will not be a save situation, they're going to bring in their closer to make sure that Matt Jones and the High Point Rockers do not come from behind in this one. But obviously the Rockers would love to have a little bit of last inning magic.
We already interviewed her.
The series going off in your pocket.
We already interviewed her earlier.
I'm sitting here and I'm not even sure what I said to get her attention.
I think I hit it.
Oh, okay.
She said she didn't hear what you said. So if you want to say it again.
That's okay. I don't remember what I said now.
Okay, you were just saying that Matt Latos is coming in.
Well, Matt Latos is coming in. Let's go ahead and look at his numbers, though, on the year as he begins his warm-up tosses here. 4-4, 1.18 earned run average, 21 saves. This is not a save opportunity. 31 Ks in 45 innings. Rockers have Jones and Alfonso, the 2 hitters here in the bottom of the lineup. Well, we were expecting 2, maybe 3 complete games today. We get 0.
And I was just going to say I had something, because Russell, who did a great job of getting the hit there, he was down to 2 strikes, so I was kind of already pre-planning what I was going to say in the post game, and I was going to say, we promised you a complete game, and you got one. Well, everybody made sure that didn't happen. You know what? Rocker fans are happy that's the case. What a great single by Michael Russell. And you know what? I'm going to bring up a stat here, and sometimes these are good, sometimes these are bad, when you talk about the broadcaster curse, I'm going to bring it up. Matt Latos is one of the best relievers in this league. I always bring it up, but this is a name and a guy that Rockers fans trust his opinion. Dante Bichette Jr. referred to Matt Latos as the best pitcher in the league. He has given up 2 walk-offs to the Rockers. So that's something to remember. As good as Matt Latos has been, and we've seen him, especially recently in this series, really be able to shut down Rocker hitters. He has had some struggles with the Rockers, but not recently.
Yeah, 2 walk-offs against the Rockers.
One was an error.
One was a walk-off error, yes.
Pretty unbelievable, that walk-off error.
Also, 2 of his 3 home runs allowed this year have come against Rocker hitters. So here is Matt Jones, the MVP of Game 1, if you will. Steps in here trying to make a little magic, swings, and hits this one high in the air to right field. But right there is Silva. Now starts to come in a step. But only one. He puts it away, and that is the ball game. The Rockers drop the second game of the doubleheader by a score of 5-1. Well, Kevin, if you look back at the span of this ball game, I think the first thing you can say about this second game is emotionally charged, either in a good way or a bad way. You either get way high up, as you see a fantastic moment there. Jamie Keefe, a handshake with Stan Clyburn. I think it's a great show of sportsmanship there. Frank Viola going to do the same, and Billy Horn, the coaches, all getting together, and just a great show of sportsmanship.
Yeah, that's great, especially on a night like this. Everybody's showing love and showing respect. So I want to talk about Matt Latos. You want to talk about coming through and helping out. You want to talk about being as useful as possible. 1 pitch, 1 out. You can't do much better than that.
So really quickly, let's go ahead and just look through this doubleheader as a whole. What are your takeaways from both of these games today?
Rockers needed 1. Rockers needed one, right? And they got one. They got the one they needed. This was the last time the Blue Crabs and the Rockers are going to play this year. So you see a little extra time being spent with these guys as Lados comes over and Billy Horn and Jamie Keefe show love to him, as well as Frank Viola. He knows good stuff when he sees it. Matt Lados had a great night, had great stuff. And
he just blew a kiss to Miles Schroeder. I think they had a good moment there.
Yeah, that was good. Let's start with the first things first. Matt Jones had a great night in the first night, and the Rockers did what they needed to do. They needed a win to snap that 5-game losing streak, and they pick up that W that they needed. Unfortunately, I'm sure Rockers fans would have loved in the Rockers if they could turn it together and get 2 and kind of get moving a little bit here, but they needed to win 1, and they won. There was a big energy in the crowd that I think's kind of transpired, and the Rockers did the best they could. And I'm not saying that to make an excuse, but you can't talk about this game without talking about the fact that 3 players were ejected. Also, a Michael Bowden, who was getting into his groove at the time, got ejected. So you got to bring that up. In the grand scheme of things, I don't want that to take anything away from the night the Blue Crabs had, because boy were they good tonight. And they just saw a Rocker team in the first game who was ready to go, and basically, Kendrick, they weren't going to take no for an answer. But then what happened in the second game was Daryl Thompson was phenomenal, and the guy I really want to highlight, and I know there was some other guy, Tony Thomas's broken bat home run happened in this game, right?
First inning, yep.
Yeah, so that's a guy you have to highlight. A home run against Michael Bowden is highlight worthy anyway. A broken bat home run against Michael Bowden is mythical. It's one Tony Thomas will tell his friends and family about for years and years to come. That was unbelievable. I mean, I'll always talk about the time I saw a guy hit a home run and only had the handle as he ran to first base. So that was unbelievable to see. I think you got to give credit to Edwin Garcia. Who kind of put the game on ice a little bit, and with that hit. I mean, that really put the game away, and that was a really good moment by Edwin Garcia to kind of finish that up for the Blue Crabs. And I think if you're Stan Clyburn, the manager of the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, you just got to be thrilled and extremely proud of the way your team battled. It's so hard to play 2, and the Blue Crabs were able to come in and win this series, and their playoff chances seem a little bit, they seem a little difficult. Their chances to make the playoffs. However, you got to win series. You got to win games to get in. And if it comes down and they get in, I think they'll look back and say that series we won against High Point in September, that was a big difference maker.
Yeah, closing up shop here tonight. Daryl Thompson picking up the win, improves to 15-7 on the year, continuing his remarkable year. Michael Bowden takes the loss. He drops to 2-4, and obviously the Rockers about to hit the road for a 3-game series against the Somerset Patriots. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday before a couple games off. Before we return back here, 6:30 on Wednesday, 6:30 game, 2 games set against the Barnstormers and a 4-game set against the Patriots to close out the home series. We say we'll return. Unfortunately, one of the mainstays here in 2019, Kevin McMahon, will not be returning with us as he is moving on to bigger and better things.
I don't know about all that.
Certainly, we're really excited for you. You're going to be fantastic at your new position, Kevin. And as a tribute to you and everything that you've meant to this organization here since you've been here, I will toss it to you to let you sign it off one last time.
Well, thank you so much. And glad that it was a Rocker win in the first half. I'm glad they have Sierra playing over the speakers. This is how I wanted to go. One more thing. We'll get sappy real quick, but it's not about me. It's about this Rocker team that came in their very first year and, really kind of took the city over from an emotional standpoint. I'll never forget the opening night. I'll never forget the 4th of July. I'll never forget the 5th of July when we hit those home runs to walk off. It was all special. I'll never forget all the guys who got called up and are on the next level now. Who, the Dante Bichette Jr.'s, the Tyler Ladendorfs, the Brett Austins, and everybody else I'm forgetting at this particular moment. But all the guys who got called up, that's what this is all about. And, huge thanks to Christian Heimel for bringing me on in the first place. Huge thanks to Kendrick Fruits. A thank you to Ash Fields in the first half, who was my partner. And, a massive thank you to Billy Horn, Frank Viola, Albert Gonzalez, and Jamie Keefe. And, of course, a big thanks to Hype the Horse, and a huge thanks to everybody, everybody who was a fan, everybody who cheered us on, and who continues to cheer the Rockers fans. Because that's what I am now. I'm a Rockers fan, and I will be in the crowd cheering along with you. And thank you to everybody who would wave to you and I through the glass every single game and almost distract us. But I always appreciated the love, and I was always happy to wave back. All right, that's enough for me. It's not about me. It's about the High Point Rockers, who, by the way, one of the last things I say on the Rocker airwaves is this: they're in a great shape to make the playoffs, and when they do make the playoffs, I feel like they will, because now I'm a Rockers fan at this point. But if the Rockers make the playoffs, I think they will. I think they can rebottle that. I think they can rebottle that run that they had to end the first half, and I think that can really charge them to a pretty special run. And the way this city has rallied around the Rockers, I think that could be a really special moment. So I'm looking forward to when that happens. All right, folks, that's all we got for you this evening. Thank you so much for supporting the High Point Rockers. We appreciate all your help. Kevin McMahon, certainly appreciate it, and I will see you all very, very soon. Until then, Kendrick Fruits is going to have you for the rest of the way, who has been spectacular, jumped right in, and has been great. So you're in really good hands. I would argue you're in better hands than you were when you were with me. Blue Crabs win 5-1, but that's okay because your Rockers will be back in town next week. We'll see you next time. Good night from BB&C Point here at the ballpark. Good night.